And then if you go to the other one, is that one started on Facebook? The one on the other side of where you were there, one where it says add new target. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got to have better eyes. Oh, it looks like it's already going.
Right on, right on.
So if you go to that one, say go live, yeah. Go live. Come on now, let's go live. All right. Oh, and then the other thing, see where it says on OBS, where it says title, it'd be the top one. Where it says sort, it's in the where you started. Yeah, and then that top one says title, the eyeball on that one. Yeah, there you go. Hey. Then we can see us. Alrighty.
It's probably going to be the shot.
You guys see that?
Yeah, just keep it. It's really easy. You want to make this one easy, Kev.
You guys see that fucking Jake Paul fight? He didn't even make enough money to pay for everybody on pay-per-view buys.
Is that true?
He had less than 300,000 pay-per-view buys worldwide.
For Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
And
he's fucking 50.
Did he win?
Paul did.
But not by much, right?
By decision.
Hey, is your mic on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't hear you at first.
Yeah, you need to be tight to it, I think.
He won by decision?
Yeah, he won by decision. Yeah. He keeps finding these way left-sided fights. Like, he just fought somebody that when Anderson Silva was fucking 29 years old, Jake Paul was a fucking pile of sperm.
Yeah, I know. That's his game, right? He is a guy who was a YouTuber, but he was young enough to learn how to fight, but not experienced enough to fight the good people now. So get people who are good at something other than boxing a long time ago.
His PR guy's got to be good.
And then fight them when they're in something that's like kind of he's not MMA fighting Anderson Silva. He's boxing him, right?
Yeah, and he wants to fight Mike Tyson. Well, Mike Tyson's going to
kill him.
He's going to be collecting pension.
He's going to kill him.
Yeah, I think Mike Tyson would still kill him though. Honestly,
yes, I do too.
Because Mike Tyson's an actual boxer, and he's a fucking weapon. When he trains for something, he trains to kill. He only knows one way to do it.
Right. You can't take the fight out of the dog like that.
I heard him on Rogan, and he said he wasn't training because he didn't like who he was.
Tyson?
Tyson. But then he did an exhibition match, and he looked like an older version of
himself.
That killer.
That killer. Oh, he had that instinct.
Yep.
Fuck.
Joe Rogan says he got his table that he's got in there, he made it wider because of Tyson, because he was like
a little nervous.
Because he wanted to have more distance between him and Tyson when he was fighting. He said he had him in when he was like doing his podcast. I think it's called Hot Box with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think he had a weed, like he had a strain of weed he was growing or something.
Yeah, he's promoting his own
weed, and he was like really, really into weed when he was smoking it, and when he was like getting involved in the business, and it was like he was really mellow and really introspective, and I love those podcasts actually, the Mike Tyson Hot Box podcast. They were pretty funny, and like Mike Tyson is like a pretty interesting guy to listen to. Like especially when he's like that version of himself.
Yep. Yeah, I listened to he did a stand-up, like, in front of an audience.
Yeah.
Like, and told it wasn't a comedic thing, but it was...
Like a one-man show thing.
One-man show that some of it was funny as fuck, and the rest of it was, like, in the depths of what he was going through in the moments and shit.
Yeah, they do a show on Disney now. It's the Tyson, like a docu-series or whatever.
Yeah, but
But it's based on that one-man show.
Oh, okay.
Like, so it's like the character who plays Tyson's doing the one-man show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And then they, like, cut into, like, those parts of his life, and they show it all. They have actors playing all the characters and stuff like that. It's pretty good, actually. It's like did you see the Lakers one?
Oh, I've heard it's good, though.
It's the same thing. It's like the Lakers one, but it's the Tyson one. So there's a lot of, like, sex. Like, it's really, like, gratuitous. Like, he's really honest about his life.
This is on Disney?
It's on Disney, Disney Plus, called Tyson.
Disney's really going for a new element, eh?
You gotta take a run at Netflix.
Well, it might be Star, because
the Stars.
Disney has Star Plus, and they show the movies with titties.
Yeah, because like they got Pam and Tommy on Disney. Like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Like, and they got grief when they had only murderers in the building because it says murderers in the title. Like that was the controversy. Then you realize, is it really a controversy, or is it just them saying it's a controversy so people know about the show on Disney that's called Murders in a Building?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good marketing, right?
Marketing tool.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We should just say, like, retard and stuff so that we can get canceled just as so that people can know about us. Don't you think? Is that like a plan?
Remember, I don't know if you remember this. I do. When we were in grade 8, the album Beastie Boys, the one with You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party.
License to Ill?
License to Ill.
Yeah.
It came out, and our grade 8 teacher went on this tangent about this horrible album. I'd never heard of it. Never heard of the Beastie Boys, never heard of this album, and I went and bought it that night.
Because he told you that it was like
it was
awful.
It was going to be good.
Yeah, and then you wanted to listen to it. Yeah.
I had to hear what was so bad about it, and that's what Disney's doing. I'll bet you they're like controversy.
Yeah, that's I think the root of everything. I mean, like people don't. If I'm doing stand up, right, like, and people all gasp, you know,
As good as a laugh,
right? They were paying attention.
Yeah.
I made them feel something.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's not nothing.
Right.
And then if they all boo, they all hated what I said, you know, like the whole room, you know, disliked it. To me, that's like they were listening. They didn't like it. They told me they didn't like it, you know.
I bet you they'll hold on to that bit.
But if they don't do anything,
that's crickets is not good.
Then that's awful, right? Yeah. Then what are you doing? You know, like if we're doing this Dutch Hall, like this is our 418th episode of this program. You two gentlemen have been doing this with me long enough. Especially Beaver, man. He's a seasoned pro at this. God, and yeah. Beaver's been around in all carnations of this. I've been around
season 1.
As long as your wife. You've been a part of the show.
Yeah.
As long as you've been dating Julie, pretty much, you've been a part of the show.
Yeah, 8 years.
Yes, I mean, that's almost the whole run. Because we're only in... So, I mean, Beaver's been around forever and ever. We know how to put on a show, right? And the last thing we want to do is get crickets at home, get people not to care.
Exactly.
So we're going to have to make this episode spicy. The 418th episode of our show, we're going to have to make this like a little provocative for our fans here. The people that are tuning in on the Facebook Lives, on the YouTube Lives, on the
new potential subscribers.
To the guy in India who's going through her catalog, deeply going through. He's in episodes I forgot about, and I'm seeing him come up. At some guy in India, he's going deep into her catalog, looking up soft shell boner and stuff. You know, like old episodes. You know, and so we got an obligation to this guy. We got like Emil Van Steeg, who's like digging him, or like he's like sitting on the roof of his house. You know.
Because it's flooding.
He's got a cow on his shoulders, you know? On the roof of his house.
One in each arm.
And we're sitting here just having a nice time drinking beer in Pine Grove when these listeners are counting on us putting on a fucking spicy episode tonight.
Yep.
So there's only one way to do it, Kevin. Get this fucking thing started for these people who are counting on us. Hit that theme song, my friend. I don't think I should have swore.
That's all part of the spice.
I like it when you swear.
It's the spice.
The host of Live from the Dutch Hall and two-time President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Welcome to the pool shed in Pine Grove. We're the Dutch Hall. For you, those of you that don't know, you might hear my voice sound a little scrambled because I'm getting liquored up tonight with my friends here. And we're glad you joined us. Tonight, let me introduce the room of these fine gentlemen sitting to my right and to my left. Let's start with my left. This fella right here, he was a star last week's show, and I have a sneaking suspicion he can pull the same trick tonight because he's that good. Ladies and gentlemen, Derek the Beaver Van Houten.
Yeah.
All the way.
One more woo.
Woo, woo. Listen to the person again. Woo, woo.
Yeah.
And to my right, this guy is doing it all tonight. He's wearing the soundboard. He's directing. Made it easy for him that way. And I parked him close to the fridge so he can give beers to people. And he is giving. Look at him doing his job like that. Ladies and gentlemen, there's not much to say about this guy other than Kevin Van Dungeon.
Donger.
The Donger. Yes, please. I'll take one more. I was chugging that pretty heavy through the theme song. I was thinking
He's really pulling the resume up, eh? Fucking doing everything.
What we got Kevin doing is like,
Jesus.
he talks a good game, actually, about being
He's like our MVP.
lazy and not caring, not giving any fucks and stuff like that. But when it comes right down to it, Kevin's got a big heart, but it only lasts for 40 minutes, as I found out last week.
Gets tuckered out.
Kevin just taps out, which is 40 minutes longer than my brother when he did the job.
Yeah.
which isn't bad. I'll take what I can get. That's what I said to Johnny too when he was doing it. By the way, Johnny's a whiz. Beaver still hasn't met him. He's doing a show tonight at Emerson, and comedy beats us. That's what he says. Well, Johnny Wren says, I want to be a stand-up comedian. I can't just be doing the podcast all the time. I go out there and work on my craft. And I say, Johnny, I can't fault you for that, my friend. Do what you got to do.
That's right.
It's got to go out there and you got to learn how to be funny. It's fucking brutal.
I can't wait till the meeting.
Huh?
I can't wait till they meet each other.
I know, Johnny and Beaver. It's like there's probably a conspiracy theory out there in Dutch Holland right now that Johnny and Beaver are the same person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are just listeners of the show, and they might just think that Beaver was just wearing a big weird,
Johnny Renton costume.
Yeah, like a big Weird Al wig. And what does Johnny even look like? He's got glasses?
Yeah.
Isn't this funny? I don't know how many shows we've done with Johnny, but does he wear glass? And I've seen him like at Levy all the time. And does he wear glasses or not wear glasses? I could not risk my mother's life on it.
I kind of forget. Like, he's a Sicilian. What was the other half?
He was like German and German and Italian.
Huh.
German Italian.
German Italian. It was a mix.
Yeah. We had to guess because he was so ambiguous. We didn't know what he was, eh? Yeah. So we guessed, and
a little bit of everything.
Yep. You could tell. Finally, he gave it away because we realized he was anti-Semitic and a good cook. And then we're like, German Italian.
Sure. Yeah. See, I'm the farthest thing from an Italian and German.
What? You love Jews and can't cook?
I'm not far from it.
I got to ask you an honest-to-God question, Beaver.
Yep.
Have you ever met a Jewish person in your life?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, eh? And that's honestly.
No, I haven't.
You haven't, right?
I've heard a lot of good things about Jewish people.
But you haven't really met one. Like, I had
a buddy that we call him fake Jew. He is literally fake Jew.
Well, what makes him fake Jewish?
Because all his friends of his family are Jewish. And the Jewish community has pulled him in. Like he's welcome. Yeah, remember the episode on the yarmulke or the hanukkah or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
I talked about it. Where
that's how you knew from this guy.
Yeah, he's got one of those fucking little pouches for his head, and he was fucking like he goes to the round table Jewish meetings at the fucking the community
synagogue.
Center the little community center that they call them, where they commute.
Beaver, you know nothing about Jewish stuff, right?
And no, nothing. And I know they're rich as fuck.
Right, they seem to be very successful, right?
And they're very like from what I hear, Jewish people like to help other Jewish people out so that they're all successful in some way.
Oh, yeah.
They're not one-man shows.
Yeah, like the community.
Strong sense of community.
The sense of community where they'll kind of help each other. Well, that's all right. But that's kind of funny, eh? Like, because, like, for a lot of people, that would be, quite shocking that you've never even met a Jewish person before.
I may have. I just don't.
You don't know, right?
I just don't know.
I'm trying to think if you know one that's been on our show that you wouldn't have known was Jewish, but is Jewish, that you met. And I'm just trying to think of Jewish comedians that have been in. Brandon Sobel's a long time ago. I don't even think you remember
probably not.
him. Man, I have to think about that. Chew it on it. I think I was first, but I would say it wasn't until university that I met a Jewish person, and that was my first time, and I had tons of questions. I was just never met one. I only heard about them, and I never met one. And there's no Jewish community down where we live.
Well, and they don't. It's not like they wear something on their forehead that says they're Jewish, right? Like, it's not like you can just fucking point somebody out.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's not like a synagogue or nothing. Like so you wouldn't see. There's not a community of them down here that you would know.
There's every other fucking community around here. Like,
yeah, we got pretty much
for the amount of halls we've had in our generations amount of
just drive through Delhi Main Street.
You know, there's been like 5 churches in Delhi at one point in time.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that's a lot of religion and a lot of halls to not have a Jewish community.
I bet you there's more than 5 churches.
I'm probably lowballing it.
Yours was a church?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, mine
4, 5, 6. There's about 6 at least, I think.
Yeah, and that's the only ones we know about because there might be some like Church of God.
I'm not even counting the fucking people that show up at your house. What are they?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, I'm not even counting them. They got a little hut down by Tim Hortons. No, there's another one down by.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. But William Street? No, the one street before William Street. What's the fuck's that?
And the Church of Satan.
Before this tracks.
Oh yeah, we had a Church of Satan. I remember there was. I did my grade 8 speech. It cost me, because I went for a controversial topic.
Oh,
I got to tell you a little bit about my public speaking background, fellas.
All right.
When I was a young boy, I don't know if you remember this, Kevin, because you were my classmate. But we had before speeches. Remember what we did? In grade 3, we did it. It was the storytelling contest.
Okay.
But it was before speeches, so you just told a story.
Like a primer.
Yeah, this was in grade 3. My first chance at the big time.
Up on stage.
The first chance to get in front of a microphone, to get up there in front of the gym, grade 3.
You're laser focused.
This is my big opportunity, man. Like
nervous as fuck.
I had this comic book that I had written. You gotta understand, when you're growing up, Kevin and Beaver, you get this stuff. But people at home might not understand. When you grow up on a farm, there's nobody around, like forever. You're by yourself. There's nobody around. Your brothers and sisters don't want to hang around with you. I don't know, maybe yours did, but mine didn't.
No, same here. Yeah.
And then you're by yourself, and there's nobody for like 100 acres, 200 acres. There's a next person's there. There's no one. So you do things that occupy your time. One of the things I did was I made up a whole universe. And I made a little comic book of it, of these funny doctors, I was a young boy, so it was like Dr. Poo-Poo Head and Dr. Dum Dum and, like stuff like that. I drew them all, and they're all kind of like...
like a different reality.
Yeah, they're all kind of like the 7 dwarfs, where they all had like one attribute that was their funny thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just made up a story about all these guys got into some trouble, and then they got themselves out of trouble or whatever, And then I went up and told the story... but I got laughs from especially the young kids, because the names of the characters were like Poo Poo Head and
so
Dum Dum.
You get your quick laughs, yeah.
Cheap laughs, but like I was in grade 3.
Still funny.
I was pretty excited about it, like that's a big deal. Anyways, I thought I killed, and I really liked getting the laughs, and I was super happy about it. Grade 4, man, it was between me and Jason Fenn on who went to the gym. I did mine on... Harry Houdini.
Ooh,
oh,
good topic.
He did his on magic.
Oh.
Oh, so you had who went first in the class? Because when you got similar topics, I remember it was like whoever went first.
You picked that broad.
The second person, you were right away at a disadvantage. You're sitting there with your cue cards. You're like, "Fuck! I'm sitting here. I'm going to say the same shit."
Yeah, with a similar topic. I mean, he had crossover stuff about Houdini, and I think he did go first. And to make it even worse, he had a trick to open with.
Oh shit!
He had a magic trick to open with. I did not have a magic trick. He had a magic trick to open with.
You came in with facts.
I just went with the pure speech, man. I'm a purist of the form, you know. I'm a speech guy, you know. So, anyways, failed. I did not go to the gym.
I missed out every year in the gym. I was always like the first place out.
Yeah?
My sister beat me every time.
Really?
Every time.
Oh, that stings even harder.
Like she would go to the gym, and I was the next place.
You were like if she got hurt on the way.
Yeah. I was on waivers. I was on waivers.
Oh, that was a story because that was the case for grade 4. Grade 5, the Canadian flag was my topic. And just a shit topic, to be quite honest. Not very interesting.
Not a whole lot of fucking excitement.
Nothing going on there. And I remember I did not do that well. Maybe I did not get even consideration for the gym in that year. Grade 6, I needed to redeem myself. Really wanted to dig deep. Topic, I can't remember the topic this year. Anyway,
probably goalies. I probably did.
Goalies? Yeah, I might remember that speech.
Yep.
Ken Palmatier.
I think I even brought a blocker and trapper for props.
I brought a jersey one year. Like, it was a big deal. If you had a prop, it was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Grade 7 was the year that really that was my golden year. That's the year I knocked it out of the park. Speech topic, Holland.
Nice.
Motherland, eh?
The motherland.
And I wrote the whole thing like
off
we were
top of your
getting
head?
on an airplane.
Ooh.
Welcome to KLM Airlines, and we're going to be dropping you off here in Holland. And then I took them kind of through the highlights.
Oh,
of
like an
Holland.
adventure. Yeah.
That's how I did my speech, you know. So I won in the gym. Got to go to the Knights of Columbus.
Ooh,
and
big winner.
Yeah, the big.
I think you get like $15 if you get. You get. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I got some cash.
Your parents spend it in booze.
Yeah.
No, it was my
Watching your
pocket money.
speech.
I didn't let my parents near that shit.
Oh no, they just spend their own money.
And then, but I did not win at the Knights of Columbus. I got beaten by a lawyer, Drew
Boyer?
Drew Boyer. Yeah, that guy had a silver tongue, man. That guy seems like not even a real guy. I shouldn't talk about real people on the show, but like he kind of seemed like an old time politician when he was a young kid.
Yeah.
And he had like a way of talking, like it was so like he was so much more charismatic than I was. I had no chance of beating him.
When you say that, all I can think of is this kid in my high school who wore a suit every day to school with tie.
Sharp dress man.
Yeah, that was what this guy was kind of like. Eh? He was like, I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, Whittett's kid.
There's some people, and they're like grown-ups.
Well, he wanted to be a grown-up.
Yeah,
it's like, man, you're skipping a spot. Like you're missing
out. Yeah, and then they got people like us who are like.
I didn't hate him for it. Like I didn't make fun of him or anything. But like I was like, fuck, man, you're thinking in my head, you're missing out on a great time.
Like
Yeah.
The guy from Family Ties, Alex.
Yeah, like Alex P. Keaton.
Like this kid was in like grade 10 and he wanted to fucking have conversations with like the mayor of Delhi.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, man.
I totally get those people, though, because I was kind of like that.
I respect him for it. Don't get me wrong.
Like, I wasn't like that in high school, but I was like that, like, when I was done university, I was just dead serious adult. I was, like, so dead serious adult, and then I was not fun. I was like an old man. Oh. Like, the oldest I ever was like, probably 32. I was like the oldest version of Pete was like 32.
Oh, really? That's young.
Like a 62-year-old Pete, though.
Yeah, like I was a 62-year-old man
32
at 32. And now that I'm a 49-year-old man, I'm probably acting about 10. You know what I mean? Like, so it's balance. Like, I'm not acting my age now.
The bell curve's all over the place.
But when I was like in my 20s and 30s, I was like acting old. And then it was like 32 is when I stopped giving any fucks at all. And then that was, gained me a few years back.
Yep.
And
Hey,
then,
did you guys vote? Not too long ago?
for the municipality?
Yeah.
I hate admitting this to the whole world, but no.
No?
I didn't know who anyone was, and I wasn't going to vote for the one person I did know. Because if you do know the person, like, or in this particular case, the one person I did know was the insane candidate. But I think I don't have to go any further. Just figure out for yourself which one you thought was the insane one,
leave it
and
at
then
that.
you can believe in that one. Because you could probably pick a couple that were nuts. The one guy had, I don't know if you saw, he always wore a leather, the one guy was running for mayor, always wearing a leather bandana.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd even,
What?
yeah, like on his posters, he'd be wearing the leather bandana, like a biker bandana. And then I saw in the fucking debates, he's wearing it in the debates.
It's consistent.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I just was like, hey, Hulk Hogan, you're bald. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, there's no reason for you to wear that leather hat
No.
unless you're covering up the fact you're bald. So we all know you're bald. So whether you wear it or you don't wear it, we know you're bald, right? Like, you're not going to get any more or less. I think you can get less votes wearing a leather hat. I just do.
I think so, too. There's nothing wrong with being bald.
There's nothing, and there's no one in the history of anyone who has won an election wearing a leather hat.
No, exactly.
Right? Is it just me?
No, I'd agree with that.
We should check the Facebook chat to see if people are lighting up over that. The leather hat community is probably going
I'll
crazy.
check it out.
I don't think they are. No. But last week we
I don't think that community is too big.
last week we missed a wave and a shout out from our queen. Totally ignored her.
I seen it.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
Afterwards, I saw it, but like at the time, she's sitting there watching her program, waving at home, just wearing her underpants, and
Probably nice and comfy.
is that what you guys picture too? That she was just in her underpants?
Well, you just put a picture in my head.
Do you always picture our queen in her underpants, or is that just me?
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah, me too. It's just because I've been making her a T-shirt, but I haven't sent it because I've been wanting to make sure it's perfect. I want to make it something that she's going to wear. Otherwise, what's the point, So, but I did design a pretty kick-ass logo. You see how it says the Dutch Hall with Pete Van Dyke in that lettering?
Yeah.
Well, I did it like that, but it says the Dutch Hall Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
So far, there's 0 watching.
Oh, awesome. We can do whatever we want. Take your dick out.
Yeah. Helicopter.
Make that into a T-shirt.
Oh, man. I think the pressure's right off. The live stream, to me, is just the rough copy, right? And then, it really isn't going to sound as good as it's going to sound once I'm done editing it.
Right.
It isn't going to, have all the, fun
flair.
little things. Yeah. Like, one time, I don't know if you guys... Kevin, you listen to some of these shows back, eh?
Yep.
The one time Joe was on, and through the live stream, it was just Joe being Joe or whatever. But in the edited version, when he would say a joke that bombs, I would put in crickets. Eh?
You'd add it in there?
I added it in.
Right on.
Yeah, to just to add salt to the wounds. I'm like, no one will even notice this ever. Like, no one will actually dig this far in the episode where I'm doing it. But to me, if I'm going to go through the trouble of sitting through a whole episode to edit it,
Might as well have fun.
then when I see those opportunities, even to bust you guys balls with a little caption or something like that, I'll just do it. Like the one time I had my hand in last week's episode, I had my hand I got some sort of a rash or something. So I was
But
just
it looked like your hand. I know.
it was digging. It was I was my right up to my sphincter with my hand on it. And so I was like, Jesus, Pete, like you're on fucking the internet.
Playing with yourself.
Like, this is going to be long after you're dead. There's a video evidence of you just sitting there just grinding your own crotch on the internet. So I just wrote a thing about, like, whoa, he's really going deep, you know? Like I don't even see myself as like me when I'm doing it, you know?
Test results are pending.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to know what I got. Because it's like eventually it goes away.
Came on its own, it'll go on its own, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how most things are, right?
That's my dad's mantra.
Yeah, and he lived forever.
Yeah, go to the hospital. It came on its own, it'll go on its own.
Yeah. I always go by this test. This is how I know if I should see a doctor. Something starts happening, right? Like you hurt yourself or you get sick or something. And then the next day, if it gets better, then I don't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You know, if it feels still shitty, but it's a little bit better, then I don't go. If the next day is a little bit better, I don't go. But if it gets worse, then I go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, I can't handle sitting in the fucking hospital, man, in the waiting room. Like, I'll...
Yeah, what happened with you?
I dislocated my knee.
And then you did nothing about it, right?
Nothing. I have yet to do anything. I popped it back in place.
Oh, really? You still haven't gone?
No, I still haven't gone. The only thing that hurts now is my right leg hurts because I was favoring my left one for 2 months. I favored it. Yeah, I put my kneecap right alongside my knee, and boy, did that hurt putting it back in. Oof.
Jesus Christ, Beaver, this was a tough year for you.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, that was early on, too.
That was early. That was like around, that was fucking June or July.
What did you do to do that?
I dropped a spring tooth on my knee.
Oh, like a
3-point hitch.
3-point hitch.
The top link broke and it pivoted. And it come right down on my knee, come right down my kneecap.
And that's so heavy.
And it slid sideways. And then you got that. There's always that split second, like, did that just fucking happen?
Yes.
And then
nothing hurts, right? At first.
Right, at first. And then there's that second after that where it's like, now what do I do?
Yeah, you're fucked. That's how you know you're really fucked. When it doesn't hurt right away, you're like, oh, I'm fucked right now.
Yeah, like last year when I cut my finger off, it went hot. And then I'm like, ooh, fuck that. That's warm, but it doesn't hurt yet. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Good.
Get the bottle of fucking super glue out.
Yeah. When I cut myself real bad and there's just no blood for that second, or there's no blood, you're like, fuck.
You know it's going to be.
Because you know it's going to be real bad because there's
there's no blood.
There's no blood right away. Like if you just like scrape yourself, it'll kind of bleed right away. But when you really gouge yourself, there's like a moment where your body's like, "Are you sure you're doing this?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "All right."
Maybe it didn't happen.
Then floodgates open.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
See, for me, with my thumb, what was the worst part is I could see the tendon I cut.
Oh.
Or the nerve, one of the two. It's a little white.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But
yeah.
It healed itself back up. I got full mobility.
Yeah, I saw the white. I saw the white before.
And it's fucking scary because it's like, was that important?
Yeah, my hands are like I can go through like pretty much a roadmap on my hands of all the jobs that I was doing when I did that.
Right, when you hurt yourself.
Or whatever, like because of the scars on my body.
Well, for me, it's my face. Like the right side of my face has been fucking pretty hacked up.
From work?
From everything, like growing up, hurt myself.
Oh yeah, hurt yourself.
Like I said, I think I told you one time. I had chink eye for a while.
I don't know if that's the right term. Is that that medical?
Right from the medical journals.
They tightened it up too tight, so one eye was tight.
Okay, but you have to tell the backstory here.
I crushed my face.
Was that the baseball?
No, that wasn't the baseball. I hurt myself. I can't remember what I was doing. I crushed my cheekbone, and the nurse was trying to feel around, make sure if it was broken, and it was. And they pushed the eye nerve into the break. So then I had to do surgery, and they peeled my whole face back and got the nerve out. But it was so swollen when they stitched it up, and this is why I don't agree with stitches anymore, that they made them too tight. So then I went... And then the swelling went down. I'm like, this isn't a good look. This is not fucking, like...
You just had one eye.
One eye was tight.
Yeah.
So then they had to cut it all back open and peel it all back and restructure what they did.
How old were you?
I was grade 5.
Holy smokes, that's like 10 years old, 11
So
years old.
And then the break, that's why I got a steel plate in my cheek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so, like, can you go through the airport?
Yep. Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's big enough, or if it is, I think so much bone has probably grown over it by now.
Really?
I think. I can't feel it anymore. I used to when I was a kid, I could
But
feel
you don't
the
have
plate.
a plate in your head? You just have it in your cheek?
I just have my whole cheek.
Okay, so
right
nothing in your forehead or
No.
anything. And was the baseball thing, like you got hit with a baseball bat or
I
something?
got clocked with a baseball bat, and then I smashed. Remember? You know how now they have the yellow post that says gas on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was a piece of fucking angle iron.
Yeah, it was angle iron, yeah.
Angle iron with a little gas symbol on
Yeah,
top.
maybe a ribbon.
Well, a little ribbon, and then I did a running no look catch in the yard playing baseball with my brother and my mom, and I fucking took the fucking piece of angle iron right in the fucking.
Jesus, man, what are the odds even?
And that was right after the surgery that they just fixed my eye.
Man, you had like just like a death wish to your own face. You just wanted to fuck your own face up.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
and like aside from 2 scars on my eyebrow, that's all I really got.
Yeah, you look like a normal human.
Yeah,
some would call you handsome even. Beaver.
thanks, buddy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not me, but other people maybe.
It was
I'll
always
say it.
it was good.
It
was good for stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good for stories. I don't know. I had to go to the eye therapist. I didn't know there was such thing.
You ever fuck your face up when you were a kid?
No.
One time I was burned. This is my favorite story to tell because it's like so much in this story wouldn't be allowed in maybe any time. It probably shouldn't have been allowed then and probably wouldn't have been. But my job as a child, I was probably like 11, 12 or something.
Yeah.
No, I was under that. I was 10 or 11. And I ended up, my job for the day was to burn all the fertilizer bags from planting time.
Yeah.
In a old Vorlex barrel.
Oh, this has just got healthy written all over it.
And stir it with a tobacco slat, right?
With some gas in there or what?
You didn't need it, man. And once that thing, that you got that green flame coming
I
up
know.
or whatever, and you just you throw in those bags and just burn those plastic bags. So
some would say you were very close to a bomb. Hey?
what? Yeah, well, yes, if it was something left, I don't know. But this was in this particular
ammonium
case.
nitrate.
I'm throwing in the bags, burning plastic, sending up the nice things into the. I'm trying to get rid of that ozone altogether.
Some diesel to start the.
Yeah, maybe some DDT I just throw on there to get rid of it, you know? And then, anyways, a fertilizer bag on fire
Wafts
up into the air and sticks to my forehead.
No way.
On fire.
The
yeah.
boiling, burning sensation.
Boiling, burning bag hit me right in the forehead. Paul was with me. My brother was with me. Watched the whole thing, and I just get it's stuck to your head
So you
on
gotta
fire.
scrape it off.
Yeah, and then you have to scrape it off, and it's just like gross. My whole forehead was blistered and like disgusting. Like I didn't want to go to school. Like I had to put a.
You know what's crazy? You probably got in trouble for that from your dad, and yet what you were for the fact of getting burnt.
Yeah, it was a bad burn to me. Like my whole forehead was blistered.
Why'd you let that fucking
And like
plastic bag?
that's what that's Kev. That's
Right,
what would have
yeah.
happened back in the day. You would have gotten.
You didn't see it coming?
What's wrong with you?
It was on fire. You didn't see the thing coming right at your face?
Should have paid better attention to the fire, you idiot.
I don't even
Meanwhile,
remember.
he shouldn't have been. Meanwhile, he was told to do it.
Yeah, man. Like, everything about what I did there was probably illegal by any sort of environmental standards.
Even then.
Yeah, even then, I think they say don't burn these bags. It doesn't say on the bag, proper disposal, make your kid burn them in the backyard in an old Vorlex barrel.
Which may have some Borlex left in it.
And you know what?
That's soil fumigant for those of you that don't know what Vorlex is. It's a soil fumigant.
I hear it sizzling.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like those are some of the reasons why these days the fucking the warning label is so big.
Yeah.
Don't drink battery acid.
May stick to your head.
Yeah.
This bag may stick to your head if
Yeah.
lit on fire.
That was brutal, man. That was one of my worst face injuries I ever got.
Yeah, but that's no joke, man. That's you had liquid like
Plastic.
plastic.
It's a pretty bad feeling when you have a burning plastic bag on your forehead because you're like, how do I get it off?
Yeah, the panic would have been immense.
And
Yeah, because you have to like scrape your hand through the
Burning.
plastic, but it's like, are you scraping through the burning skin at this point? You know, like to get it off. But you do it so fast, you're just like, rank, because you're like, get it off my fucking
Still,
head.
though, that sounds
All
horrible.
my hair was burnt like past like where your bank like would
Like you had
start
10
to
head?
grow.
You had 10
And you just got like these like little hairs sticking out of the top, and then like a big gross
nice
blister.
new haircut. And your little brother's pointing and laughing at you the whole time.
Yeah, surprised it wasn't picture day. my grade two picture day. I remember my grade 2 picture. You can see I have a fat lip, and it's from my I knocked a pot off the stove and burnt my lip. Burning water in my lip.
Ouch.
And then boiling water in my lip, and so it was like kind of swollen. And then a couple days before picture day, my mom had some gardening shears out. She was doing some gardening, and I decided to just take a big whack of my bangs off.
No way.
So I just got a big chunk of my bangs, like just hacked right out. And my mom's like, "Fucking go into school like that, idiot! If you're gonna do that to yourself, give yourself this haircut for picture day."
There's a lot of parents, though, that have a scenario where one or all their kids accidentally
cut their own hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty normal. The kids will do it. Like, it's just a compulsion, man. I don't know. I remember doing it. I remember like vividly picking up the scissors and just being like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna cut some of my hair off." And then you don't really think of the consequences. You're just thinking like, I've seen people cut hair. These scissors cut hair. Cut hair. You know, you just piece it together. You're like, "I'll cut my own hair."
And I'm not allowed to touch the scissors as a kid. And
as soon as you do it, you're like, "Oh, that was dumb. That was bad."
Yeah.
And then your mom's like, "What are you doing?"
I'm not good at cutting hair at all. Cut your sister's hair. I got this.
Yeah. Do you remember how? Do you remember Kevin and I were in the same grade school class? Do you remember in our like kindergarten and up to it was like kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, like Charles is in a bow tie.
in the pictures?
Yeah, in the pictures. Yeah. He's like wearing a bow tie.
Handsome, innocent Dave.
And he's like all dressed up and everything. And then grade 6, he's wearing an Iron Maiden concert tee. You're wearing a Van Halen one.
Right.
Same shot. It's my favorite class picture.
Fuck, you got some memory on you, buddy.
Oh, this class picture, I think I might have it in my kitchen. It's like it's the best class picture.
I know why.
Because Dave is in the back. You know, there's 3 rows.
Yeah.
So Dave's in the back row, right beside the teacher.
On the bench.
Standing on the bench.
Yeah.
And then he's wearing his Iron Maiden concert tee, which his mom was so pissed off about because she was like, make sure picture day you wear your thing, and she must not know picture day. So then, but anyways, Dave's totally checking out the teacher's ass in the picture. Like you can't even deny that he's looking at the teacher, and she's a pretty good looking teacher.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, Mrs. Moreland. She was great. She was a good looking woman.
Stupid.
And then, but that's why it's my favorite. Like, it's so clearly they caught him right in the act of looking at her ass. It's my favorite.
Where you got an eye opener of what life was really like.
No, I think it's just he's just a dirt. He was a dirtbag then as a young child, and I just know that's deep in his soul. Like, even though he's a good Catholic family man and everything now. I still know deep in his soul he's still that like little dirtbag looking at his teacher's bum. Huh?
Little grade 6 Dave.
Yeah, it's still a horny little grade 6 Dave. It's badass too. Like the Iron Maiden looking at your teacher's ass in a class picture.
Yep.
He's got like I'm just I'm bragging that I have a friend who wore an Iron Maiden shirt and checked out his teacher's ass in a class picture. And like this guy is the guy.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, doesn't even want to talk about it. Like, it's not even a big deal, you know?
That's a big deal when you're that age.
Don't you think it's a big deal now?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And he was always, even then, he was kind of like, don't make a big deal about it. And I'm like, make a big deal about it. This is like a classic picture. It's the best.
Gonna live on forever.
Yeah, like in a movie, they would circle that scenario if they showed that picture.
Yeah.
As a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. Cool. That's a cool, like, as far as cool factor stuff.
Right.
That's a cool factor.
He's like McLovin.
And he comes from a lineage of cool, right? Like, because his dad is like one of the coolest guys in the world.
Yep.
And you ever hear the Jimmy Charter story?
I've never met his dad.
You've never met Dave's dad?
I've never heard of Dave Charter's dad's story.
Oh, I'll tell you my favorite Dave's. I can't even pick a favorite with Dave's dad because there's so many good ones. He's the best, right? So Dave's dad one time, I do love all the Dave's dad stories. They're my favorite. He's one of my favorite people in the world. He's just a great guy. So Jimmy, I don't even know where to start. There's just so many. They flood in your head, all these funny Jim stories. Me and Dave used to drink when we were young. You know when you spend all your disposable income on booze?
Yeah.
And you just go drinking all the time and stuff? So we would do that, and then we'd go back to Dave's house because, like, we go drinking at Swazi's, and then we'd go back to Dave's house because he lived in Waterford. And Dave's dad
was a safe house, kind of.
Yeah, it was close. It was in town. You didn't. Have, if you were too drunk to drive home, you just like walk over and you'd sleep the night at Dave's house.
Just a short drive to Dave's house.
Yeah, just a short drive to Dave's house. They can't catch us there.
Not dangerous.
So, so we ended up we go to come in the house 1:30 in the morning or whatever, and Dave's dad be in bed with his mom, and he would come out of his room in his tidy whities. And he'd have those teeth out, and then he would just want to hear the stories from the drinking stories from the night. And he'd get a piece of white bread out, and he'd smear some mayonnaise on it, and he'd just gum this mayonnaise white bread. He's like, "What happened, any ladies? Any ladies?" But my favorite story, one of my favorite stories, which really proves how cool Dave's dad is Dave's dad likes to sneak a shot or two of alcohol, and sometimes that'll upset his wife, And so they were shopping at the grocery store, and me and Dave were playing darts at Swanee's, right? Mm-hmm. And so Dave's dad was checking out, and he goes, "I'll just take these bags while you're paying and bring them to the car," right? So he comes in with 2 grocery bags in one hand, 2 in the other hand, and he comes running into Swazi's while we're playing darts, right? We're playing what is it, 4-11 or whatever? Anyways, Dave's dad comes into the bar, and he's like, shot of vodka, right? Dave, shot of vodka. And so Dave orders him a shot of vodka, and he goes, "What are you guys shooting?" And Dave goes, "We're shooting 11, right?"
Yeah.
So Dave's dad takes the 2 grocery bags from the one hand, puts them in the other hand. He takes the shot of vodka, he drinks it. He grabs a dart out of Dave's hand. He throws it at the board, hits 11, and says, "See you later, fella."
Holy fuck!
It was, and I'm like, "Dave, your dad's the coolest guy in the world.
Legend,
coolest guy." Another time we're playing at a golf tournament, and golfing with Dave's dad was an annual thing that they'd let me do. It was a great honor to be invited because Dave's dad made it so much fun. And he would say crazy shit. And then the one time he's pickled, he's getting pretty lit at the end. And this guy's announcing the door prizes. And Jim just grabs a microphone from his hand, right? And he starts singing "I's the buys that sails the ship" and "I's the buys or whatever, that sort of an old sea shanty or some fucking thing. And then he drops the microphone on the ground.
Mic drop.
And then he walks with both hands raised in the air, walks out of the Legion, goes home. That's how he left.
Out.
Jim out, yeah. It was fucking badass.
So good.
The guy is just badass.
The original mic drop right there.
Yeah, that is original.
When he was a young man, this is him as an old man. He's an old man, doesn't give a shit. It's so, it's awesome. But when he was a young man, he used to walk around with a cane all the time because he'd always get in accidents from drinking and driving. And And then he fucked his one leg up. His one leg's like real muscular and athletic because he was a real athlete, and his one leg's just like
Skinny.
a stick, like skinny because he fucked it up so much, car accidents, and he would just walk around with that cane and then kick the shit out of people with the cane, like at the old Syracuse and Waterford and stuff, which is now an old folks' home.
Yeah,
that's funny, eh? That's an old folks' home.
They probably spent time watching girls in mud wrestle.
Yeah, in that same place that they're sitting there living in. Did your dad live there?
Yeah.
And yeah, he probably would have drank in that bar.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, with the Black Donnellys, probably. He's old enough. And then
they weren't so tough.
Yeah, they're good guys. I gotta take them. Yeah, that's funny.
That's so true.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like the same people who were drinking in that bar were the ones that were the residents in that bar, you know?
Yeah.
Or in that, the residents in that, what became a nursing home. Yeah. It's kind of funny to think that one day we'd be like living in Swazies.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's like.
Or the Gatsby's or whatever.
But the Syracuse must have been like a whorehouse, too, in Waterford. Like, it was a hotel, wasn't it?
Yep.
And so, like, doesn't a hotel mean like a whorehouse? Like, I may think of, if you go back, if people were coming into town
for the turn of the century building too, right?
Yeah, and it's on the rail line.
Yep.
People's making a stop into town. They need a drink. They go to the hotel, and they need a place to stay. But also, you might throw a lady of the evening.
Yeah, need some company.
Ahua.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but
we can throw it in there.
But like when I always think about it, like the old Norfolk Hotel,
yeah,
and the Turkey Point Hotel. Like, have you ever known anyone that stayed at the Turkey Point Hotel?
No, I don't.
Didn't the Malibu used to have rooms above it too?
I think people live there.
Could have been apartments too. Yeah.
Hey, you know where I did stay one time? The Erie Beach.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I stayed overnight at the Erie Beach.
What's that like? 10-cent hotel room?
Oh, dude. It was like going back in time, big time. It was like you go to the 70s.
Did you sleep with your clothes on?
No, man. I fucked it all over that room. I was on like on some sort of a dick pill I got from a friend, like a black market dick pill.
Did it work?
Oh, fuck yeah. It was like it was amazing. It was like I was a kid with superpowers. Like, not only did it work great, but then like as soon as you were done, you want to do it again? Like, no problem. Boom, again. Like, you could just keep doing it. It was the best.
You just had to depend on your cardio at that point. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's all about cardio. It's all about cardio. You know what?
Training.
I honestly think that there needs to be, like, I know it takes the romance out of it, but I would like to get a little bit of a heads up that you're going to actually agree to fuck me, like, so I can stretch. That's all I'm asking for.
So you can
put nothing out.
Yeah, I'm getting to the age where I just need to limber up before I start getting into this thing.
Pete's jumping rope in the hall.
I at least want to stretch out my hip flexors because...
Yeah. Instead, you're playing Russian roulette with the calendar, wondering, like,
we're stretching today? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's not about the calendar. It's about like I gotta like solve an impossible equation of like pleasing in order to be worthy of such an act. And I know that like it's not up to me when we're gonna do it. Like, I can think, because I do everything right, and it's, if she's not into it, it's not gonna work. But if I do everything right and she's into it, it works. If I do everything not right and she's into it, it doesn't work. And if I do everything not right and she's not into it, of course it doesn't work. So it's like 75% chance it's not going to work, right? And if everything was equally weighted, which it's not. So it's tough. It's tough.
Tough to know when to stretch.
That's the thing. It's like not only the stretching, but it's also a matter of like there needs to be some sort of a contract at the beginning where you just say, like, listen, this amount of sex is like, what do they call it when it's an essential, like it's like water and air,
basic human need?
like a basic human right.
Oh, yeah.
like this amount of sex is your basic human right.
Minimal.
As a human being, you have sexual needs, and I acknowledge that. Therefore, I'm going to agree that a human being should have sex X amount of time, like every 2 weeks, And then, let's say, whatever the minimum is, the bare minimum to sustain life is this amount of sex. Okay. Agree to it, right? And then, if you
stick to it.
If you're the only source of that, then no matter what you think of me, you have to give me that, because I've agreed that I'm only going to get it from you, and I have a basic human need that I need to have bust a nut once in a while.
Right.
Right? So you, as my only monogamous partner, you got to be the person. You got to take one for the fucking team.
Yeah, and fulfill that obligation.
Right. And even if you don't like me, you have to do it, because it's like it's just merciful. Otherwise, you have to go somewhere else. No, isn't that just a deal?
I wish that when I got married, that was the day I got married, that was said, what you just said.
It's the same. It should be in the vows, in the church.
In the vows.
And you're going to fuck them at least every 2 weeks. Or, I heard my brother-in-law, I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't want to bust him, but he was having the same conversation with me privately, and he's like, I don't need sex every day, but like every other day. That's what he's going on. I'm like, holy shit, man. You are even every other day, that's pretty ballsy to ask a person, especially you got a bunch of kids and everything, and you're like, man, every other you're still doing?
Yeah, because
you get close to every other, that's awesome. I think you're having a great time.
Yeah, because the stars got to align there, a lot of scenarios.
Oh, man. Whether everyone's busy, got shit going on, and then all of a sudden you got every other day it works out. I mean, man, that's lucky.
Good for you.
Yeah. If I go on a streak, I'm streaky. That's just the way it is. So once you get the ball rolling, then, hey, I'm gone. But if you take a break and get used to not fucking me, you can get used to not fucking me forever.
More than the other way. Right.
Yeah.
A slump is just as bad can be just as long as a streak, right?
Yeah, man.
Longer. Could be
feels
longer.
like it for sure.
You tell you after not having sex with your wife for a while, you tell her, hey, remember when we were having sex? How much fun that is? You love it. Right? Don't you remember all that times you were having sex? You never were saying, boy, this is terrible. You're always saying, this is pretty good when it's going on. So why don't we just do that again? Then you're going to be saying, hey, this is pretty good while it's going on, right? You never say you're not enjoying it while it's happening. So it's something you like. That seems logical. So let's just do that thing you like. It makes you
all the time.
That thing. When you whatever, I'll do anything. Just I don't care.
Life could be very good.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, you want orgasms? I'll give you orgasms. You want me to eat your pussy? I'll eat your pussy. I'll do the things that you got to do to make you do that thing where your toes are curling and you're I don't know if you're crying or screaming or whatever. And then you seem to think that's a good thing when it's happening, I'll just do that thing. I'll make it happen again.
On repeat. Yeah.
So, and while you're basking in the whole glory of the whole business, I'll sneak my cock in there and do my own dirty thing. Right? Yeah. You won't even know what's happening. Come on, man. I'm willing to negotiate is all I'm saying. It's but they're unwilling to negotiate.
Zero negotiating.
Yeah, and then you try calling them on it. You're like, how come you get all the power here and then you're using this as currency or whatever? It's a basic human right. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That is what happens.
Yeah, they're like, you're crazy. That's not right.
I never signed no contract.
Yeah. Believe it or not, there was a time, I was alluding to it earlier in the show, where I was a young man and I said, I was like an old man, because I was so serious. And in those days, I think I held the sexual card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think my wife I would turn it down because she was hornier than I was.
Really?
Back in those days, yeah, because I was just so fucking, like, into what I was doing, you know, like, and I was busy and stressed.
Boy, don't you wish you could go back to those days.
Yeah, man. Yeah. 'Cause I still was, like, super happy because, like, you know, a guy getting it whenever you need it, you're still getting it more than ever.
Right.
But as soon as we had kids, it was like all the power in that direction was gone. And then it was like, there's so many other priorities over my
your needs.
Cock, if you will. Your children are well overranked.
Yes.
To the old cockaroo. And then, but that's normal. That's like a very natural thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do like the streaks though, because when the streak, you don't have to remind them
Right.
how much they like it. Because it was like, remember yesterday? That was good, right? Let's do that again. And then you're like, yeah, that sounds good. I remember that. It was just yesterday. But when it was like 2 weeks ago, you're like, that could have been anyone. Right? I don't know.
I had dropped it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very. Are we at the end? We didn't even do feedback. We got to do it, though, because we got one I got to read.
We got feedback.
Yeah, play that theme song.
We got feedback. It's feedback. It's motherfucking feedback.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to Feedback. We got feedback. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends at Clean Flow. Clean Flow is re-upped on our show. And so thank you to Clean Flow for sponsoring our program. Go to cleanflow.com. That's KLEENFLO.com. And check out all the great products. And if you'd like to support our show, go to patreon.com/Dutch Hall and join our queen, who this week was our provider of feedback. Our Queen Jen Husko, who is our one and only Patreon subscriber. You too can be Dutch Hall royalty by going to patreon.com/Dutch Hall. But Jen Husko went to thedutchhall@gmail.com and she says, "Hey Pete, I listened to the episode with Friendship on a Stick and it made me smile and laugh my whole drive. No band can ever replace the Nocturnal Emissions, I think. But I really was hoping to like Friendship on a Stick because I really like the country version of this band. And I thought it would be funny. And I thought it was funny when I visited the hall. But both songs were really disturbing. Are they all like that? I watched the last episode too, and I was glad to see Beaver's back. Yeah. Welcome back, Beaver.
Right on.
The Queen approves of you, Beaver.
I like it.
Yeah.
This episode was great too. Can't wait for my T-shirt. Yes, but now the T-shirt's been associated with the panties, eh?
And you've built it up.
It's dirty.
You got a high
bar
set.
I know. And now I want to make sure it's a nice T-shirt. But I think the logo's fucking brilliant. I just got to figure out the right color, and then the right design, the right actual shirt. I think is of appropriate quality.
I think you got to stick with color. You got to stick to the Dutch Hall colors.
What are the Dutch Hall colors? So
those ones right there off the sign,
like orange,
like an orangey, because it's kind of like a unisex color, right?
Yes. The T-shirt be that color?
Like you can't
Maybe
do
she
it.
might need a black T-shirt.
You can't make hers like pink or
no, but brown.
Yeah, brown is good.
Orange.
Huh?
She can't have an orange shirt.
I don't think she can have an orange shirt. I would put her in, but I might say blue, especially a redhead in blue.
No, I'm always thinking about a black T-shirt because that's always all your hall shirts have been.
Yeah, I have black too.
Black, and then
with the orange.
Oh yeah, with the orange lettering. Yeah, it is that color lettering. Yeah, that's what I mean. That color lettering on the black shirt. That would pop pretty cool.
I think so.
Or like a
Or
navy.
blue, yeah.
And it's something like its style.
You should get. Actually, she's royal. She's royalty.
I'll get a royal
She does
blue.
need royal blue.
Okay, royal blue. It's decided, and I'm glad I talked about it with the whole team. Jen, your shirt is royal blue, and it's coming to you, and that's a thank you
Unless
for
you
being
like-
our queen and for providing us with feedback.
Unless you
And
like
I'll
black.
tell you, the friendship on a stick, I'm glad you brought this up. You compared them to the Longhorns. You had expectations of them to be as good as the Longhorns because you enjoyed the Longhorns so much. I have news for you. They look very much like the Longhorns.
Close.
They look a lot like them, and they're two-piece. They have the same first names, I think, even.
Yep.
But they are not the same people, Jen. They are not the same people. They just are very. They're an archetype. They're like a plain-looking faced person, and they just look common like other people.
Oh God, I'm dying for Jesus.
You don't remember that? I don't know. Every song they have, I sing it for a while, especially when I'm editing and stuff. You end up getting it in your head and you like it. I really like the one about the touch your boobies, and then they go and they have that oral sex in the janitor's closet, and then they thank the lady at the end for helping move the bodies because they were very heavy to dispose of them after they had to murder the witnesses of the horrible sexual act that they were felt guilty about. But I don't see what you find disturbing, you know.
I guess it's all in how you perceive things.
Yeah, I don't know what's disturbing about that. But anyways, I think I will pass that on to Friendship on a Stick. It does count as an enormous -1.
Well, that is a -1 for them.
That is a very huge -1 for Friendship on a Stick.
Our queen
And,
doesn't like them. That's not so good.
Because her opinion is number one to us.
It is #1. She controls the show.
She could veto that.
Though Friendship on a Stick, I'm going to tell you, they may never be back.
Yeah.
They may never be back again. Longhorns gets the Queen's approval,
Yeah.
and the Longhorns have never auditioned before.
They should.
So let's bring the Longhorns back in and have them audition and tell Friendship on a Stick, I'm sorry, you wowed me and Kevin. You wowed Johnny Renton.
But we're simple.
But the Queen says no, so you guys are not coming back.
Done.
But Dunkafunk still not been judged by our Queen.
No.
So if you're not, it's like the the Roman gladiator or whatever. Like
Yeah.
You either live or die. The Queen has not judged
Not yet.
Dunkafunk, so he's allowed to keep living.
Yeah.
But Friendship on a Stick, if they come back, it's under the Queen's protest. That's what I'm telling you right now. So,
The queen.
or at least clean your act up, Friendship on a Stick.
Yeah.
Make something a little bit less disturbing for our Queen. One song at least.
Smarten up. Use your heads.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Exactly. Well, anyways, thank you very much. If you two at home listening to this program, this deep into it, past the hour before we even got to this shit, if you would like to tell us what you think of the show, give us an email at thedutchhall@gmail.com or go to the Dutch Hall on Instagram and Twitter and all that shit. Though no one's ever talked to us on Twitter, so I should stop saying Twitter. It's Instagram. Do it. Do it! And I'm not on Be Real because I don't want to be real.
Good enough reason.
What?
That's a good enough reason.
I don't want to be real.
Fuck them.
Do you ever hear about Be Real?
No, I was about to say that. What the fuck is Be Real?
Okay, so we can talk about Be
We'll
Real.
talk about it after.
No, we'll do it right now to end the show. Well, Be Real is like, this is my understanding of it too, and I'm an idiot. I'm an old man idiot. Is that apparently you join this app like Instagram, right? But every randomly, at random times of the day, they send out a mass an alert, and it says "Be Real." I don't know what it says.
And you gotta confirm it.
And then you just got to take a picture. And then when you take your picture, it takes a picture of what's in front of you and what's behind you.
Oh, okay.
So it'll take a selfie and a picture of the room, and you just got to do it immediately. And the idea behind it is you just take the picture, and it just shows your surroundings, where you are at the moment, and you don't have time to stage your picture.
Oh,
So
I like that.
you're just being real.
It's not edited. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just saying, right now, this is where Pete is. Pete's just doing this, and he takes his Be Real. And my sister is on it. She's quite a hit on Be Real. Apparently, her Be Reals are like are just unreal. They're so great. But I don't understand because people are staging their Be Reals. They're still like
they're still ready for them.
Yeah, sifting through their correct Be Reals or preparing to do a cool Be Real. Like, hey, when the next alert comes on, I'll do this thing or whatever. And the whole point of it is not to do that. It's to just not stage anything, just show your real self. Because the whole thing about social media is that people are putting out the highlights, right?
Right, and not the reality.
Yeah, no reality. So then everyone thinks like, oh, all these people I know from high school have a better life than me because they're not showing the times they're crying in their kitchen, you know? And then they don't post the picture of them, you know, like
sitting on the
toilet with a bleeding hemorrhoid, you know. They don't show those pictures, you know. Your life has all those pictures in your head because you have to live it, right? So then people are comparing the reality of their shitty life, which is normal that everyone lives a shitty life, compared to these fake lives on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, like these like highlight lives, and they're saying mine doesn't measure up to this person's highlights, which is stupid because who cares, right? Like it doesn't matter at all. That's not real, and you don't. Your life's not contingent upon somebody else's.
Yep.
Right? Those two things. So if you're worried about any of those things, people at home listening to this, you're stupid and stop doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The end, right? But it is natural to compare yourself. You're like, oh, look at this guy. He looks like he's having a good time. I know I had a friend of mine, an old friend I reconnected with, and if you were watching him online, he's like doing all these like really cool things, and my wife's like, man, he's really living a great life now. I'm really happy for him. And then I went to visit him, and he's like really struggling, you know? He's got a real mental health problems, and he's really having a hard time. And my wife's like, I can't believe it. Like, he looks like he's just got the world by the tail because of his Facebook posts or whatever.
Right, based on his social media.
Yeah. But it's like, that's what he's doing to try to get himself out of his horrors of his life. He's doing these great experiences to try to feel something again, you know? It's like you're not...
So he's trying. He's trying.
Yeah, and I'm really happy for him. He's like doing everything he can
Yeah.
to fix himself, you know, and he's doing a great job. Actually, he's doing better. But, like, he has struggled, you know what I mean? Like, even when he's posting those pictures, you're not showing the struggles on...
Oh.
The closest is like a podcast like this.
Right.
It's like I probably... Like, because you're spending an hour every week, you sometimes leaks in that you're nuts and on crazy pills and stuff. But
which is our best, the three of ours' best way of getting it all out and getting past it. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think those kind of like when you see the full picture of a human being, like I have good moments and I also have shitty moments, and I have moments where I'm like. Having a good time and moments where I'm having a terrible time. And that's all part of the human experience. It's like the full thing. You can't enjoy anything if you don't hate anything. If you don't like have, you know, you can't know anything's good if you don't know it, if you haven't felt anything bad, you know? So like, I mean, it's all part of the thing. And I think if you lower your expectations, everything's easier.
Yeah, set the bar low.
Set the bar low. Like, don't want anything, and you're always winning. Right?
How's your day? Fucking great.
Yeah, it's great. I don't want nothing. I just want to sit here.
Yep.
And then it's fine. And then everything's good. You know, like you don't need much.
Nope.
I really do think that's half of it. Just want less. Have a couple cocktails with your buddies on a Tuesday night.
Fucking A.
And
let it all out.
And meet some people all over the world on the interweb.
Ooh.
It's just an added bonus. That's our show, people. If you like to tell a friend about our program, spread the word. We're really big in India right now. To our Indian audience, welcome and thank you. And until next week. Oh, yeah, you know what to do. Give us the feedback. And until next week, we'll see you NT. See you next Thursday. Bye, everybody. of a thing on top of that, though. Like there was a.
There was some noise because I had the live thing going for a second.
Oh, that's what it was.
I heard it and I was like, "What is that sound?"
Oh fuck! There's a breeze coming in now because it's not pushing it out.
Stop streaming, all that stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah. Sorry. Totally forgot.